Okay, to start with, we start off with a pack of beef frying steak. Got about 360 grams in this pack. Put there. What we'll do, trim all the excess fat off the edge. You don't want that to be fried, be very chewy. Even if you do fry it, it leaves some chewy sections. So discard those sections. With the meat, start with this piece, very finely chopped. So the first one, you want to cut across the grain. Just ensures that it cooks nicely. And as you can see, it's probably about half a centimetre, quarter of an inch in thickness. Unfortunately, the steaks are still too thick, so once you've done this, what we will do is dice them up. So we're going to cut them lengthways to ensure they cook quickly and crisp up rather than being substantial bits of steak. So that one piece then becomes two of that sort of thickness. You're going to carry on doing that with all the rest of the steak until you've got it all done. Right, once all chopped up, should present about that sort of thickness, which will mean it will crisp up nice and evenly. Next up we have the coating, which will help it become tenderized and also a bit of flavour. So what we've got here, we've got corn flour, got about 6 tablespoons of corn flour, and we've mixed in 1 teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice, which is available at all your local supermarkets. This will help tenderize it. It's in there for anything between 30 and 60 minutes is the optimum time to let it rest once it's coated. So let's get started with coating. So put it straight in. Once nicely coated, give it a little shake, pop it in your bowl. Take forever if you did it individual items, so you can do quite a few. When you lay them out, make sure that they're not stuck together. You want to make sure that it's nice and coated so that when it goes in the fryer, it will cook evenly. The fats from the beef, when they cook, will come out and help marinate and cover the corn flour and the 5 spice mixture. Just shake it off, you don't want too much, otherwise you will have dry spots. And just carry on with that until you've coated all your meat and put them in the bowl. Okay, so I've preheated the Ninja to ensure there's a heat cycle through it. That's the reason why I'm using a cloth. There's the mixture from earlier, coated in the corn flour and the Chinese 5 spice. Pour that straight in. Sometimes it'll stick. And you just want to spread it out, make sure the air is going to be able to circulate around it, like so. Because it's beef, shouldn't take too long to cook. What I tend to do is check it every 15-minute intervals. So what we'll do, I'll show you the settings. Okay, so for the settings on this, turn it on, temperature, and the air crisp it. We want it on 200 degrees, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we will do it for 15 minutes. And press start. Okay, so we're going to thinly slice the red pepper. So quickly wash that. So nice thin slices, red pepper. When they cook, the aromatics will mix with the meat to create the sauce, the base sauce. Nice thinly sliced, probably 2 to 3 millimeters. I tend to do a whole pepper. Brings the sweetness out of the dish. Mixing this, when you have a little bit of chili sauce in there, gives you a nice sweet chili flavoursome sauce base, which you'll see at the end. We then mix in with the beef to create your finished dish. Just finished doing this. What we're going to do, I'm going to add this. Add all this to the main bowl within the Foodi, along with the following ingredients. So, once you've done your pepper, the next thing you want to put in there is your spring onion. I'm going to change the chopping board using the same one. Just the white section you want, just the base section, don't want the leaves. What you want to do is go down the stem. I always go down the middle first, gives you a nice flat surface, and then you can slice it finely from there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you've got nicely fined spring onions. They can go in the bowl. Next, you're going to get your garlic, clove. My son isn't a big fan of a vast amount of garlic, so I'm just going to do the 1 clove today. Okay, so I've got the garlic skin remover. What we do is pop that in there, roll it around, remove the knife so I don't cut myself. Once that's nicely rolled around, you'll find the skin, which is usually prone to being difficult, comes off at 1. Simplest of inventions, but one of my favourites. So, what we're going to do, we're going to crush this, hence the reason why I'm using the big knife today. We're going to crush the garlic, like so. So it opens up, all the flavours can then percolate within the dish. So pop that in there. Next, we're going to do the ginger. So, I'll do about a thumb's worth of ginger, which I'm going to finely chop. So, take all the nasty paper-like skin off, like so. And you should just be left with the gorgeous scent. Oh, I love ginger. The gorgeous scent of ginger. As I said, I'm going to finely chop it into small pieces, probably about 1 millimetre in diameter. You're looking at about 1 centimetre's worth, which is about that. Go down the other way. And what you want to do is create matchsticks. So nice thin matchsticks, which should appear like that. So once that's done, they can then go in the pot as well. So with the pot, what you want to do, you want to heat it up And the easiest way to do that in the Ninja Foodi without using the oven is to turn it on to saute. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move you over and let's show you what's going on in the Foodi. Okay, so what we're going to do with those ingredients in there to get it going, if you power the machine on, what I want to do is sear saute. This is on the OP300. There are obviously various different models of this Ninja out there. Yours may be in a different place, but it's the one that says sear stroke saute. It'll start flashing high. And then once it's flashing high and you're happy with that, press start. That'll then start putting a heat cycle through the base of your pan, which will then draw all the flavours out into this pot. So at the moment there's no heat in there. Whilst that's going on, I'll then prep the other ingredients that I'll need. Okay, so that's sizzling away now nicely. What we'll do, we'll now add the liquid formula that then turns this into the sauce that you all now know and love. So what we'll do, we'll start off with the white rice vinegar. If you haven't got white rice vinegar, you can use white wine vinegar. However, it's slightly more sour, so I'd advise using a small amount of sugar, maybe a teaspoon per spoon, that to bring the flavour out and reduce the tartness. So we're going to do 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll stir that in nicely. Next we're going to move on to the soy sauce. It's going to be 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. There's your 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. You can always add more to create more salt flavouring going forward. The next is 2 tablespoons of sweet chilli sauce. You can obviously add more or less. If you are a bit of a chilli fiend like myself, you can always go down the route of adding an extra chilli sauce to it as well. There's many out there that many of you know and love, I'm sure. You'll see from my other reviews, chilli sauces, there is some very hot ones on the market. Just keep it moving, keep your vegetables being coated. The last thing we've got to add is tomato sauce. It's going to be 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce. So we'll add that to there. One, 2, and finally a couple of teaspoons of water. What I will do, I'll prep a little measuring jar. We'll throw some water in there. Don't mind, because I know that ketchup's already in the recipe, so I do 1, 2 teaspoons of water. Make sure all the vegetables get nicely coated in that lovely smelling concoction. If you want it as hot and spicy, then the other thing you can do is add into that flake chilies or fresh chilies, whichever is your preference really, will give you a bit of a chili kick. So once that's done, next thing we're going to do is look at combining the mixture you have in your pan that you've sauteed with your crispy beef selection, which is there. We'll add that in to the main pot, mix it around so you get a lovely coating on your chili beef, and the sauce and the vegetables all mixed together.